Grand Rising Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, the shares, views, subscribes, the comments, hypes, memberships, donations, everything. I appreciate it all. We're going to ring the bell. We're going to clear out the energy. And we're going to see what the message the Spirit has for us this Friday morning. I feel like a group of people have forgotten what God said. Maybe they didn't take it seriously. All of God's word. Maybe they thought that God was playing. But God said clearly, I will bless those that bless you, and I will curse those that curse you. I feel like somebody, either they forgot, they thought it was a joke, or they didn't believe. Somebody wanted to do the FAFO. Well, they did the FA. Now they're in that find out stage. Bottom of the deck. Somebody was fucking around. Somebody thought that they could curse you. Hey, Robert. They thought that they could curse you and win something. What was that? Your destiny, your good fortune, your blessings. They thought that they would be able to curse you and get away with it. They're finding out differently now. Now things don't look as clear as they once did. Now someone is having to look at something in a different light because they're watching you. And they're finding that you are still blessed. You're still connected. All your ancestors, all your spirit guides, they're still around you, and they are leading, guiding, and directing your every step without a shadow of a doubt. Hey, create. Now they were trying to hold back. They didn't want anyone to know that they were the ones who tried to curse you. They were trying to hold that information close to them, like holding their cards close to the chest. So somebody couldn't see what was going on. But people can tell just by the way they are today, their actions. You know, how somebody is looking stressed. How maybe someone is looking concerned. And it doesn't necessarily have to be someone. It could be several people in a group, in a family, in a coven. They're all looking stressed. Because here you are standing alone. And they came up against you. This family came up against you. You know, this could be confirmation if you heard that little ding. This could have been, something that started whenever you was a child. Hey, K Hypsee, Grand Rising. But they didn't know that there was a decision that was made, that you had a calling on your life. They didn't know that you had a calling. K Hypsee, thank you so very much. I appreciate you so very much. And like I said, this is, since you was a child, you've had this calling on your life. And it's not like you could change it. It's not like you even wanted to change it. It's not like you even knew any difference. You just knew what you knew. Hey, Demita. Hey, Brenda. You're receiving a message about some apology that's coming through. Someone that's coming to you and they want to apologize. Somebody could be traveling to you, and this was after you walked away. They're traveling to you because they got something now to say. Because it's clear and apparent that they are receiving this curse in return. This person feels that they are cursed. And I feel like this person feels like, if they try and apologize, if somebody tries to turn this around, if they come to you face to face, then maybe things will turn around. My ear is just now ringing. I feel like something is out in the open. Hey, Malcolm. Everyone can see something. And I feel like somebody has gone within, or maybe somebody did some more investigation and they did their homework, and now they're understanding exactly what's happening. Because it's not just happening to one person, it's happening to several. Those that bless you will be blessed. And if they took their time, their energy, their resources to try and curse you, to try and hold back from you, to try and belittle you, to try and leave you out, to try and leave you, without, that's coming back on them. Hey, Janetta. Somebody's now in a period of grief because they feel trapped. They feel like they can't get out of something. They feel like no matter what they do, it's not working. They're not able to move forward. Hello, the soul archetype. They're not able to move forward. They're not able to progress like they thought that they was going to be able to progress. This could have something to do with somebody's mother, or a mother was involved. And this mother is sitting here looking at everything that they invested in. Maybe they invested in the others instead of investing in you. High intensity 21 marks. And now they're finding out that they didn't either, that they are being left out, that they are being, like I said, everything that this person tries to do, it's not working. I feel like this King of Wands is now having a change of heart. That this King of Wands is now wanting to, do something, wanting to give you something, wanting to start over, wanting to pour out, some gifts to you, wanting to see if what they do is gonna, help. This could have been somebody that, was, like a mother, a father, an uncle, a brother, somebody that was connected to you, like in that family way. Hey, Her Tarot Fool's Journey podcast. How are you, sweetie? See, now they're realizing that God had a plan for you. And on top of that, you had a lot of faith. You had a lot of faith to go the direction that God was leading you. And they called you a fool. They said, collective don't know what they doing. Just let them go. They foolish. Like, you may have been the one who said, okay, it's time for me to leave everyone. To leave this land, to leave this family. You may have divorced yourself from the family. Because, if they're not going to treat you right, you're not going to sit around for them to treat you wrong. I feel like somebody else that you care for and they cared so deeply for you, this is the one who's hurting the most. This is the one who your heart hurt, but their heart is hurting the most out of everyone else, because that's the one who had the most to lose. See, that person is now thinking about how they were disloyal to you and how they had all of these things to say about you at one time. And like I said, now they are hurting the most because they realized they didn't mean any of it. They just said it because they felt like that was expected of them to say. They said it because they didn't realize that God was going to bless you and God was going to curse them for speaking ill on your name. They just said it because they didn't want to be outcast from the rest of the group, from the rest of the family. They said it because they didn't know what God had said. They said it because they were ignorant, because they were immature. That's why they said it. They're realizing that their blessings are over. Like I said, this is the one who has the most to lose. Now they're realizing why you stayed by yourself. They couldn't see it before. And they didn't appreciate it before. They were so worried about these 3 cups right here, this group right here, that they couldn't see that you was that blessing that God had given to them. I feel like that's the person who's working the most. They're working on, learning about spirituality. They're working on this. I feel like this person is reading their Bible now, trying to get closer to God. Because this person believes everything now. This person understands and has clarity about what God's laws are, what God said that God will and will not do. This person now sees that they should have been a stand-up man. Confirmation. They should have been a stand-up person when it came to you. They should have done the right thing as opposed to doing the wrong thing. Because they spent this time doing the wrong thing, and now they want forgiveness from God. But see, all of those dirty secrets, all of those little plans, all of those hush, hush, this is what we're going to do, but we just going to keep it between us. Then no, now it wasn't worth it. Because now they are stuck in this cycle because of these lies. Because them being a secret enemy along with these other secret enemies. And now they realize that this cycle that they are in is cursed. And nobody is strong enough to break this curse. This entire family finds out that they are cursed. And they're shocked. As if they have the nerve to be shocked. I mean, what did they do? What did they think was going to happen? See, they thought that they was going to have their wish fulfillment. They thought they was all sitting there smug at the table. They celebrated too soon. They was all thinking it was going to be all good and gravy, like they didn't have to answer, and sitting there with their arms crossed like they was just a cat's meow while they were sitting there saying all of this lies, all this bullshit on somebody who didn't deserve it. I feel like you told somebody or a few people or all of them something. And they waved you off like you didn't know what you was talking about. Hey, Grand Corleone, how are you? Welcome, Detroit. Yeah, they waved you off because they felt like you didn't have the wisdom, you didn't have the knowledge, like whatever you had, what didn't amount to much. But now they're realizing who you are. And they're realizing that you being in a relationship with them brought a lot. See, at first they looked at you like, oh, that little thing, the collective God, gone with that collective. But now they see that, you know what, you got more than all they got. Your blessings are real. What they have is temporary. What you have is permanent. And like I said, now they're trying to change shit up. They're trying to reverse these curses. They're trying to do everything because they know that it's coming in for them. They're trying to reverse it before it comes in for them because they know that once it comes in, it's there. Because they're thinking about what they did to you, how they tried to take you out. And now that they're remembering, like they're waking up and they're remembering that God said, those that curse you will be cursed. Now they're getting scared because they're like, oh shit. Because they're admitting to themselves they was never a blessing to you. They never wanted to be. They did something without thinking. They didn't do their homework. They made these rash decisions. Somebody just would, and I feel like somebody even had the nerve to try and send somebody in to attack you. Not just once, not even twice, but a few times. Somebody tried to send someone in to attack you. And it's all coming back. Hey, Jesus Spirit, how are you? It is all being returned. And they have no doubt they are thinking about how they tried to purposely leave you out and give to another as if you didn't deserve. See, because they didn't think that this was going to come back on them. It was like a moment of confusion or a moment of ignorance. Now they're asking for healing. They want your forgiveness. They want God to forgive them. They want God to sweep this under the rug as if it never happened. They hope that if they come and they give you this little pitiful apology, that you'll be okay. As if you didn't have to defend yourself against their attacks. As if you didn't have to make sure that you was protected. Hey, Danny. Hey, Rhonda. Now they want to lay down these swords. They no longer want to have anything to say about you. And they're sitting here and they're looking at you. Because you know what, one thing that they noticed about you is you never had anything bad to say about them. You may have stuck up for yourself. You may have spoken the truth, but you never came after them. Like they say, if I don't send for you, don't come for me. You never sent for them. So there was no need for them to ever come for you. But they did. See, they left you out in the cold. They ostracized you. They kicked you out, and you didn't even know you was kicked out until you happened to wake the fuck up one day, getting out of the matrix and said, I was never even a part of them in the first damn place. This is how they treated you, as if you were the enemy. You were the one that they all need to gang up on. This is what they're asking God to forgive, ganging up on you. This is why they're asking God to forgive them, because they know everything is balancing itself. See, they're in shock because no matter what they did to try and get at you, they could never get at you. You were always protected. God had already separated you. God had already said that God was going to protect you. So no matter what somebody tried to do, it wasn't going to work. Hey, Latasha, you have a beautiful Friday too. Hey, Courage Brave 123. Yeah, there were two other people, like I said. It could have been a father figure and this, maybe this is a father and a sister as well. There were a lot of people that came after you. There were a lot of people that treated you unfairly for no reason. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Janetta. For no damn reason except because they were feeling less than. Can we please get some more likes in the chat? I'd appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, I feel like you stepped out on faith. You left. You separated yourself. You had to do whatever you needed to do because you knew that, God was right by your side. You didn't care about, taking a whole lot of shit with you. You said, you know what, they could have it. If that's what they want, they can have that. Because, one thing about you've already been through the struggle enough to know that you got it once, you got it twice, you can get it a third time. Somebody, when you decided that it was time for you to go your own separate way, like I said, somebody else felt it more than what they thought they would. Somebody else realized that their heart was broken. Because they sat there and they wasted. They didn't spend their time. They wasted their time listening to the lies of someone else, not realizing that believing someone else's lie without doing your own homework will fuck your own life up. Hey, Alicia. Believing someone else's lie will fuck your life up. What's the message, Spirit? And they didn't even have to, because you always told the truth. You told the truth. You told them, you gave them some good advice, some good information about this family. You said something that was real. But yet somebody else told them not to even trust in you, not to believe in you. Collective is not abundant. Collective is not an empress. Collective this, collective that. It's like they felt like they didn't have to believe you. They didn't need to believe you, that you didn't know what you was talking about. But now they realized you knew everything that you was talking about, because it's real. It is real. And now somebody's realizing they should have listened to everything that you had to say. Instead of somebody attacking you, they should have held that shit down. They should have put those swords down. Someone realizes now they should have did their homework a long time ago. They should have went within to figure out what's really going on. Because now they find that they're stuck in the same position too. Just like everyone else. And they're afraid. They are afraid. And they believe God now. Not only do they believe God, but now they believe in God. Someone attacked you for no damn reason. They allowed themselves to get suckered. What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. This person finds themselves having to defend themselves now, by themselves. And they have no support. They have no support. Whenever you were not even their own ancestors are there supporting them. There's no one that is supporting them. Everyone has turned their back and walked away. Like I said, this person has waken up to the realization that not only did they curse themselves, but this was a generational curse that was going on. Somebody woke up to the fact that you broke this generational curse, and it's like they didn't think anything about it. They thought, oh, can't be. There's no such thing. Now they're realizing there is a such thing. It is a thing. Hey, David, how are you? Alicia, how are you, sweetie? Melanie. Oh, thank you so very much, Melanie. I love you more. It is a thing. See, people want to sit here and think, I don't know why they always think that people that are spiritual don't know what the hell that they're talking about. Like we just pulling shit out from the crack of our ass. Talking about the Most High, talking about universal law, talking about, God, talking about the Spirit, talking about passed over loved ones and ancestors and archangels. No, what are you talking about? And it's sad that they don't believe this. Because you know what? If people believe in this, then they would have a better understanding of themselves. They would have a better understanding of how life is, how laws work, and we would live on a such kinder planet than what we do. We wouldn't be living around people that are using their own last breath to try and take us down because they feel like they gotta take it, as opposed to asking God for it. Because what is for them is for them. And what's not for them, even if they went and stole it, God is going to take it away if it's not for you, or you are going to pay a heavy price for it. I mean, how many people have lost their lives trying to take something that wasn't theirs? Trying to get in the middle of something that they shouldn't have gotten in the middle of. How many people are rightfully in prison? Not the ones that are wrongfully accused, but rightfully in prison. How many people have lost their ability to walk, to see, to speak? How many people are in mental institutions because, they drove themselves crazy trying to do this bullshit? Had they sat there and really believed in something, stood for something, they wouldn't have fell for everything that is not of the light. They would be in a much better place. Hey, Tia. Hey, Warrior CC 121. It's those non-believers, those that think that they already know everything, Those that feel that nothing's going to come back on them, like they can control their whole life, like they're in control of their lives. No, you're not. No, you're not. See, somebody thought that they was in control of something of this relationship, and now they're finding out they wasn't in control of shit. See, there was a whole lot of shit happening that they didn't see happening. A whole lot of things going on that they didn't see that was going on. A whole lot of chaos that they was in the middle of. But now they're seeing things differently, especially whenever it affects their money, especially when it affects their family, their children, their life, their livelihood, especially when it affects them. Now the light bulb has gone on. They realize how much they sacrificed. They realize now they should have surrendered. Hey, light worker William. Hey, Straight Cheese. Hey, Miss Grand Marquise. So now it's like you realize these things now when it's too late. Because now you're in a position where you can't do nothing. There's nothing else that you can do about it. And you know, sometimes whenever people sit there and they spend all their time being disloyal, being dishonest, being disrespectful, disregarding people, and shit start coming back on them that affects only them, then they think that they can come back with an apology. What is that going to do? Say that you want another opportunity to try and take the collective down? Say that, oh, I was dumb now. I didn't believe you before, but now I see the fat meat is greasy. I believe you now. You still got to go through that fire. You still have to experience that karma. You still get to you need to allow yourself to experience everything that you thought somebody else deserved who didn't deserve it. It's like, why? Yes. Somebody that was jealous of you for no fucking reason. Somebody who wanted what you had, but didn't realize what you had to go through to get what you have. See, they want to take it, but they don't know what they got to go through to actually have it. Hey, Jesky. See, whenever they wasn't there, whenever you was going through the fire, when you was being polished and experiencing that high heat, to come out bright like a diamond, the purest of the purest, they didn't realize what you was actually going through. But now that shit is coming back on them, they want to feel sorry for themselves. Now that they realize what they've done, then they want to act like, oh, my heart is broken. I know you're fucking lying. They should have thought about what they invested in to get that broken heart. They should have thought about everything that, how they treated you as a family member, as a friend, as a co-worker, what they actually did to you. They need to go back and think about all of that. See, now this person is sitting here, this mother is thinking about this one child. When sat there and invested in everybody else, and now is sitting here having these thoughts, and they should have invested in that one child too. Because they thought that they was going to be so happy, they was going to live their life, and they was going to be in comfort and joy and surrounded by family members, but they're finding themselves brokenhearted, just like you. They're finding themselves left out in the cold, just like you. They're finding themselves being haunted daily by the fucking devil, just like they was a devil to you. See, they didn't listen to their ancestors when their ancestors were warning them. Now this person finds out confirmation that they sacrificed themselves and they have to pay the piper. That horn has been blown. Judgment has been made. And there ain't shit that they can do except go through it. Just like you had to. That's what they wanted for you. That's exactly what they did to you. Didn't make a difference how you felt. This was somebody that was determined to win at all costs. Win what? Win what? What'd you win? And now it's like these siblings are upset. You know, like I said, they celebrated too soon. The family, they celebrated too soon, thinking that you was going to be down and out. You was going to be, they called you worthless. They said that, you know, it didn't make a difference. What, you know, they was looking at your life and they compared it to somebody else in the family's life that they did that same shit too. But that other person may have had a calling on their life, may have had a purpose, but they didn't pick up the phone when God called them. Had they picked up the phone when God called them, then they would have still been around. But see, they was looking at that other person that they thought you was also going to be, you know, in that same boat, followed and then walking in them same fucking shoes. They looked at that other person and looked how they was able to actually bring that person all the way down. So that person was using drugs, you know, drinking lots of alcohol, you know, their life had went down further and further and further, and how they had seen this person out, but they act like they didn't even know them because they said, I don't want to be associated with that person. I don't want anybody to think anything bad about me. I don't want nobody to think, oh, you know that person is related to you. I don't want people to know that. Now they're seeing that, you know what, that was the worst thing they could have done. They see now, that's whenever it's like they was waging war against God. That was the one that it was even a test. And they failed that test. Like I said, they waged war against God. God said, bet. I got your number. God said, I got your number, bitch. Sorry, y'all. I got somebody to come and work on my house a little bit at night. While I'm at work. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah. See, now they can't even support themselves. They can't support themselves at all. And it's because they spent so much time being disloyal to you, lying on you, stabbing you in your back, speaking ill on your name, doing all this sneaky shit that they thought was just going to be so sneaky, nobody's going to know. They didn't see this. They didn't see you. And now this person is trying to reverse a curse that they placed on you. They worked so hard to put this thing on you. Now they're trying to reverse it. But it's not going to work. God said, good luck with that. Good luck with that one. Let me know how it works out for you. Yeah, this entire family, they're all working together to see if they can heal this whole situation. Everybody putting their heads together to think, how can we heal this? How can we get out of this? How can we make this okay? How can we make this right with this spiritual one? See, you was the crazy one before. because you was the only one that would actually talk to God. Like you was having a conversation with your next door neighbor. And see, somebody thought before that, they was the ones who was in control. They was the ones who was doing this. Somebody even tried to take your gifts, take your inheritance, take what was yours. Somebody tried to steal what belonged to you. How's that working out for you? What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Now they want to send a message, and you can expect a message. They want to give you your flowers now. They want to talk about, how, how loved you are, how respected you are, how much they admire you for doing the things that you've had to do. They want to tell you, how you just came up out the ranks, like all of a sudden you just rose out the water. Like after the third day, they went into the mausoleum looking for you and your grave was empty. You wasn't there, and how God has elevated you. They want to talk about how you have risen from the dead, because they discounted you. Everybody's sitting here looking at you, and they see that you are getting dharma. They see that everything is working out for you, not the way that they had hoped it would, but the way that God promised you that it would. Now they're seeing how they should have invested in you, how they should have given equally to you, just like you did to them. They didn't know that you were so strong. And they didn't know that their guilt would be so great. They didn't know that. They didn't see that shit coming. They didn't even see that they was going to be the ones to end up with a broken heart. Not you. You good. You Gucci. It's all goody in the hoodie for you. God don't play. And God don't lie. And if somebody hasn't read their Bible, I suggest that they start. Put down the game systems, turn off the TV, and get in the book. Read what's real. Read the guide of how to live. Live, not just survive. How to treat people, how to love yourself, and what order. You love God first, then you love you, and then everybody else falls behind that. Because if you love God and you love you, you're going to treat everybody else like you should. You're not going to go around trying to do all this flamboyant shit. You're not going to do all that. You're going to be goody in the hoodie. You're not going to be lying. You're not going to be a thief. You're not going to try and steal. All that shit is going to come to a fucking end. That way, God can give you what you deserve, what you really want. You don't have to steal it. You don't have to take it from somebody else, but you do have to work for it. You do have to prove yourself worthy, just like everybody else. Ain't nothing for free. Some people need to understand spirituality is not a bad thing. Some people need to understand that using your own intuition is a good thing, because that's how God is talking to you. Honor these relationships. You know, there's not one relationship that's more important than the other relationship. There's not one person that you should hold higher in regard than the other person. Because everybody is here on a different mission. Everybody has a different purpose. And you never know when it's all said and done who you're going to need and who you're not going to need. And it's always fucked up when you disrespecting the one that you need and you holding in high esteem the one that you should have let go a long time ago. Bottom of the deck. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. It's like you have this gift coming in. Maybe it's a new lover, a new relationship, somebody that you could really depend on. Or somebody wants a new opportunity with you. Especially after them realizing that, you know what, they cursed themselves. Realizing that they were so immature and not being able to read the signs about what life was really about. You know, somebody had to go within and find out, you know, their strength from their own strength. They had to go within to find out their own, you know, how strong they were. See, somebody had to understand that these little actions that they was doing, listening to everybody else trying to attack somebody, that's not it at all. That shit ain't even fucking funny. See, somebody thought that they was getting some some shits and grins, some giggles from trying to do this shit to you. And every time that they would see that you was clearly, visibly hurt, and they was like, yeah, it's not funny anymore. That shit is back on them. That they're the ones that's going through and going through and going through and going through, and they're not gonna stop going through until they can admit to some shit. Admit to some shit. Because judgment is being called on them, whether they want to admit to it or not. They're seeing now that they should have never crossed you. They shouldn't have taken that matter into their own hands. They should have let that shit the fuck go. See, it's been a long time coming. Justice has been a long time coming. But guess what? Karma don't lose an address, and the universe is always going to balance itself out. And you know what? Sometimes God will allow somebody to act a motherfucking fool with you just so God could keep writing that shit down, keep writing that shit down, keep writing it down. Then all of a sudden, when God run out of room on both sides of the paper, he gonna tear that shit off, call Karma. She gonna come pick up that list, and she gonna go line for line, word for word, deed for deed with your ass. And then you're going to feel real stupid having to go line for line, confirmation, word for word, deed for deed, paying that shit back. Only to find out that God was writing something in the 6th font and using 3 per line, you know, on both sides, and making 3 columns on each side, because that's a lot of shit. That's a lot of shit. And when you have to pay that shit back, just like a credit card, it's fun to spend the money. I got what? $10,000 on the. Hey, I'm popping bottles. I'm buying clothes. Oh, there was some cute shoes. These are the jewelry, the this, the that. I'm going to go out to eat every night this week. It don't make a difference. It's all good until you got to pay that shit back. Then that shit is fucking painful. Wondering, damn, okay, I got to scrimp, I got to save. Okay, well, maybe whenever I get my taxes back, I'll get this and I can just pay it off at that time. What? I owe on the taxes. Oh, Lord. It's all good until you got to pay it back. Somebody realizing who the fuck you are. You wasn't just kind and sweet and loving and lovable and happy-go-lucky and the sunshine and speaking good on everybody and trying to help everybody else. You did that shit because you a fucking earth angel and they was too stupid to know. Now they understand they got themselves in a fucking position that they can't get out of. That wheel of fortune, that's not turning in their favor. Not with the devil right here. That devil said, I dare you. Devil said, spin the wheel. And they was like, okay. Like they was on The Price is Right trying to get that dollar. They was like spinning. And then turn it up and got on a bust. Oh, shit. I didn't even get 5 cents. No. But you did get busted in your ass. The fuck is wrong with you? Somebody forgot about doing to others as you want them to do unto you. They sitting here so busy trying to come against you, trying to have this war against you. And everything that they worked on, they're sitting there thinking about it now, stressing about it now. Whole time, you got the victory because you did nothing. You, every time they did something more to you, you was like, I'm gonna let God handle it. I'm not even gonna get upset. I'm just gonna let God take care of this. I'm not even gonna stoop so low. I'm gonna let God do it. God kept saying, thank you, baby. Thank you for having the faith in me to take care of all your needs. God said, get up in the boat. Get in the boat. I'm going to take you to calmer waters and protect you. And that's why your life is good. Your life is Gucci. You was truthful. You was honest. You wasn't perfect, but honesty goes a long way. Integrity goes a long way. The truth goes a long way. And for this is why God is blessing you. God is so happy with you. And like I said, somebody else, this whole family, they trying to turn this whole shit around. Oh, damn. Oh, man. Like they forgot, all the curses that they did, all the spells that they tried to do on you, how many times they tried to curse your name, how many people they tried to get to attack you. They trying to turn all that shit around. And none of that shit is happening. They get in the tower every time they try it. Every time they think they're getting closer, turning some shit around, God said, nope, let me take this out. Nope, that's not it either. Nope, that's not it. Block. Nope, that's not it. Nope. So it's really important to think about everything that you're doing. How we treating people. How we talking to people. How we sitting here making these assumptions about people. Careful what you put out there. Because when they come back, you want to make sure that you're okay with it coming back. See, somebody's thinking about all those actions that they took against you. Thoughtless actions. They're thinking about all that. They having to look at all that and looking at what it got them. He looks sad. His heart is broken. All because he was fighting you as opposed to trying to work with you. Thinking about everything that they worked on. Everything that they worked on. And where did he get them? Absolutely nowhere except busted. Anything else? Yeah. See, somebody's thinking about they put so much into this. They invested, and they was investing like a motherfucking fool, a dumb ass fool with this witch, a dumb fool. They invested all their time, all their energy, acting like a fool. And this witch knew that they was a fool. Used to call them Ronald McDonald or Bozo behind their back. And now they sitting here seeing they ain't got shit. They trying to hold on to every little thing that they got. Everything that they got. And you know what? What's even worse is you told them, you spoke your piece about what they was going to try and do. About them speaking there, what they was talking about. You like it? We love it. Because it don't affect us. Only affects you. I will bless those that bless you, and I will curse those that curse you. And they thought that you was a fool. They thought that you was an easy mark. Not anymore. At least you knew to give exactly what you expected to get. At least you knew to give exactly what you expected to get. Somebody's having a death of their ego. They don't know what the fuck to do. They just know they fucked. Yeah. Somebody had to go into hermit mode. They going through that dark night of the soul. They had to look at themselves. They had to say, let me take a hot minute. Yes. Can't make this up because they fucking misjudged the devil. And these lies are exposed. Not only are they exposed, but these motherfuckers run deep. Yep. A group of men were trying to destroy and attack a woman. Probably because she was spiritual. And they all under judgment. Every last one of them. Everybody's under judgment. Anything else, Spirit? Then we get ready to swing the pendulum. Oh, they are very concerned, baby. They are very concerned. Talk about sweating bullets. They're sweating AR-15 bullets, AK-47 bullets. They are sweating bullets. They are, ooh, honey. You see them, they look like they just got out the damn shower. All right, y'all, let's swing the pendulum and see what Spirit has to say. Which way is the pendulum going to swing today, dear Spirit? Which way is the pendulum going to swing? It looks like it is a yes. Looks like it is a yes. All right, y'all. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you all. K Hyphy, thank you so very much for your generous donations. I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful day. Today is Friday, so hopefully I'm not going to be that tired after I get off work. If not, I'll jump on and do a live this evening. If not, then I'll just be doing a live tomorrow morning. I love you all. Have a great day. Bye now.